Language Learning Series, How to Never Forget a Word.
All right, let's talk about something that drives every single language learner crazy, forgetting words. But what if I told you there's a system, a real method, to make new vocabulary stick in your brain for good? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
Seriously, does this sound like you? You spend hours, maybe a whole evening, cramming a list of new words, feeling pretty good about it.
And then you wake up the next morning and poof, it's all gone. Or maybe you learn the words on page 10, but you realize you've completely forgotten everything from page 1. And then there's that super frustrating feeling, right? When the word is right there, it is on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't pull it out. If you're nodding along, don't worry, you are in exactly the right place.
Now listen, what we're about to go through isn't just a random list of tips. This is a system that was built after testing over 20 different learning methods. It's been proven to work for everything from tough exams like the TOEFL all the way to just sounding more natural in everyday conversations.
So, to fix the problem, we first have to understand why it happens. See, forgetting isn't just one thing. It's actually one of 3 different breakdowns in your memory. Let's play detective and diagnose each one.
So, breakdown number 1 is what we call weak encoding. This basically means the memory was never really there to begin with. You didn't actually learn it. Think of it this way. You didn't carve the word into your brain. You just kind of glanced at it, and it never made a real deep impression.
Breakdown number 2 is a lack of consolidation. This is when you do form a memory, but it doesn't get saved properly. And you know the main reason this happens? Trying to learn way too much, way too fast. We've all been there, trying to learn 50 words in a day. It just overwhelms your brain, and most of that information gets lost. And the third breakdown? That's failure of retrieval. This is that tip of the tongue moment. The word is in your brain, it's saved correctly, but you just can't find it when you need it. It's like your brain has its own little Google search, and sometimes that search engine just isn't working very well.
Okay, so we've got 3 problems. But the good news is we have 3 very specific solutions. For each of these memory breakdowns, there's a powerful technique designed to fix it.
So here's the game plan. To fix that weak encoding, we're going to personalize our sentences. To stop that poor consolidation, we're going to combine new words. And to fix that annoying retrieval failure, we're going to use active prompts. Let's get into exactly how each one works.
First up, solving weak encoding. The key here is to create a strong, personal connection to every new word. You know those generic example sentences in textbooks? Yeah, those are pretty useless. You have to make the word part of your story, your world.
Let's take the word complementary. Instead of just staring at the definition, you make it real. Think about a time you stayed at a hotel that had a complimentary breakfast, or imagine a waiter telling you the bread is complimentary. Or maybe you can visualize that trip to Hawaii where you got a complimentary gift basket. Each personal sentence you create carves that memory way deeper than a dictionary ever could. Okay, technique number 2. This one is all about consolidation, stopping your brain from getting all jumbled up. This is especially true when you learn words that sound alike. The trick is to link them together in one single memorable sentence.
And this is where the magic really happens. Let's say you're trying to learn complimentary, complacent, and contemporary. Man, those are easy to mix up, right? But check this out. What if you weave them into a little story? I got a complimentary breakfast at a contemporary hotel, and it reminds me to never be complacent in life. All of a sudden, each word has its own job, its own meaning. They actually help you remember each other instead of fighting for space.
And finally, our third technique, which is all about retrieval. You have to train your brain to find words on demand. It's like building a muscle at the gym. You can't just look at the weights, you have to actually lift them. Same idea here.
So let's talk about the wrong way to do this, because honestly, it's what most of us do. We take a sticky note and we just write the word we want to learn, like complacent. But when you just look at the answer, your brain doesn't have to do any work. It's passive. It's recognition, not recall, and that doesn't build that retrieval muscle at all.
But this is the right way. It's a total game changer. Instead of writing the answer, you write the question. Your sticky note asks, what's the word for being overly self-satisfied? Now, every time you see that note, your brain is forced to do that Google search, to actively pull the word complacent from your memory. That is the workout your brain needs.
So these 3 techniques are amazing. But to get to that real effortless fluency, you need to turn them into a habit. And that habit is built on 3 really simple, practical rules.
Okay, rule number 1 might actually surprise you. It's less is more. Just 3. 3 new words or phrases a day. That's it. Seriously. This stops you from getting overwhelmed and gives you the time and mental space to really learn each word properly.
Rule 2, focus on what's relevant. You have to be a little bit ruthless here. If you're never going to use a word like commemorate in your real life, just skip it. Focus on words that actually matter to you. And finally, Rule 3, learn the sound. Memory isn't just visual, it's auditory. You have to know what a word sounds like so you can catch it in a conversation and, say it correctly yourself.
So there you have it. This isn't just a random bunch of ideas. It's a complete toolkit for building a vocabulary that actually sticks. Let's just quickly recap how it all fits together.
It really boils down to this simple chart. If you've got a problem with weak encoding, your tool is to personalize your sentences. If you're struggling with poor consolidation, you combine new words. And if you have that failure of retrieval, you use active prompts. A specific tool for every single problem.
And if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this idea. Learning slowly is actually the fastest way to learn. I know it sounds a little weird, but spending real time to properly learn one word today is so much more effective than skimming 10 words that you're just going to have to relearn tomorrow anyway.
So that really just leaves one final question. Now you have the system, you've got the tools, and you know the rules. So, what 3 words are you going to learn today?